What's going on, guys? Today I'm taking a look at Mad Max on the PlayStation 4. This is just a quick little early review I'm trying to get out to you guys. I haven't finished the game yet, but I've definitely have some impressions on it and want to let you guys know how it is. So for those of you that don't know, this game is an open world game where you're kind of exploring the wastelands. It's very similar to Far Cry 4 in some ways. You have your main story quest, which will open up more areas for you, as well as unlock new upgrades for your character and car. You have some optional quests with some bonus scrap or items for your car, and then there's a lot of just kind of side missions you can get distracted with. And like Far Cry 4, there's outposts in certain regions, and the more you take down, the less influence these factions have, and the safer it is for you to travel around it. This gameplay you're watching is actually me taking down one of those outposts. They have certain objectives depending on what it is. This one I have to destroy the oil pump. There's also convoys you can raid that are on set paths. So like I said, if you played Far Cry 4 and you liked Far Cry 4, you should just go out and get this game right now, because it's like that, only in the Mad Max universe, and it's fun. So basically you start out this game having your car and your clothes and everything you own taken from you, and you meet this strange man who thinks you're the chosen one to help him build this kind of divine car that's supposed to be like the greatest car the wasteland has ever seen. So all he has for it is basically a frame, a little engine in it, and some tires. So it runs, but it's not much, and as you progress you're slowly unlocking more stuff for this car. You can pick out what kind of body you want it to have and customize the coloring eventually. And then as you build it up, you get more armor. You can add spikes on top of it to prevent people from boarding you and punching you through the windshield, which was pretty crazy the first time that happened. I didn't know that was possible. You can add flamethrowers to the side, some explosive javelins on the back. So it's pretty cool, and the upgrade system to the car is a lot of fun. It definitely makes you feel more like a badass as you go. And the car sounds great driving it, and it feels really good. When you first start it up, it just lets out a roar, and it just makes you feel like such a badass as you're cruising around this wasteland. It definitely feels like directly from either the newest Mad Max movie or some moments from the older ones. Now, there is some vehicle combat. Like I said, you can ram guys or nitro boost into them and do damage to their car and eventually have them explode. You have a harpoon you get pretty early in the game. You can actually shoot guys through the windshield and rip them out of the car, or rip tires off or their rams off. When you aim while driving, it slows everything down and shows you what you can grab. And certain things to grab, you'll have to upgrade your harpoon, and everything's kind of like that, where it'll show you what you could do, but you can't do everything right away, so you're always working to upgrade the car. The combat's kind of fun. I had a little trouble in some areas with it, just because I'd be trying to circle around to hit the guy, and he'd just be following me, so it'd basically just be doing circles, and it couldn't really go anywhere. So that got a little frustrating in parts, but it didn't ruin it. It's just, maybe I have to get better at the car battles. I don't know. It's still fun though. Now when you're not driving, there's hand-to-hand combat in the game, and they took the Arkham series method of fighting. It's tweaked a little bit. You can't really get out of an attack to counter as fast as you can in the Arkham game. Usually you can hit that counter button at the very last second, but this, if you're in a punching animation or something, it's a little bit harder to pull out of it to get that counter, so it takes a little getting used to, especially if you played a lot of Arkham Knight like I did. You have a combo meter as well, which builds up. It doesn't reset when you get hit or anything. I think it just resets at the end of fights. And you also have a Fury meter, where when that fills up all the way, you'll go into Fury mode, where you just become like a total raging badass, and you just beat the crap out of people. You get some new finishing moves that look awesome the first few times you see them, but unfortunately I wish there were a few more. There's only really 2 or 3 that I've seen as of right now for the finishing animations, and while they're cool, it just gets a little old when it's the same thing every time. But the hand-to-hand combat still feels good. You can pick up melee weapons, you can pick up one of those explosive javelins and just stick a guy with it and kick him away, or if you pick up a shiv, you can just push a button to execute a guy mid-combo. So the combat on the ground is also a lot of fun. As for the story, it's not really too involving right now. It's mainly just you trying to get your stuff back so you can get back on the road. And while that's kind of a Mad Max story, I'm hoping it goes a little deeper than that, maybe. Or perhaps there'll be some more characters that I'm interested in. But as of right now, it's nothing too great. The main thing driving the game forward is the upgrade system. And so I talked about the upgrades for the car. There's also upgrade trees for Max as well. You can unlock cosmetic changes to him, like you can have him get really long hair and a really long beard if you want, or you can get a jacket which gives you more armor and looks kind of like the Road Warrior jacket, as well as you upgrade your health, your stamina, how much scrap you pick up when you're scavenging. It's fun and it makes you feel like you're actually getting stronger, so it's definitely a well-implemented system. For those of you that are a fan of doing everything in a game, this one's going to keep you occupied for a while. There's a pretty big map and there is a ton of collectibles in the game, so good luck with that. I have encountered 2 bugs that have had to make me kind of quit out and log back in. One was the very beginning of the game, the first objective you get, it didn't clear for some reason, and while I kept progressing it wouldn't go away, and I got to a point where I couldn't progress any further because I needed to unlock the next objective to do that, so I had to back out. It brought me right to a checkpoint where I was and it was all fine, and I also just fell into a spot that I couldn't jump out of. There's no real good jumping mechanic in this game. It feels kind of pointless and crappy. But again, the checkpoint was right where I was. It wasn't that big of a deal. I'm sure it'll be something that'll slowly get patched out. One thing that does kind of bother me is having to hold X to climb ladders or pick up things instead of just tapping it. I don't see why they did that. I'll miss grabbing onto a ladder or something just because I'm so used to tapping X instead of having to hold it for a solid 1.5 seconds or so. It just kind of feels a little clunky and slow. I hope they can patch that out and just make it so you can tap X. So much easier. But overall, this game's a lot of fun, and that's a pretty big surprise because usually licensed games suck. But I think they really did a great job with this one, especially after the movie that came out this summer that was awesome. And if you haven't seen it, you should go watch that right now and then play the game. So fans of that movie, definitely check this out. It's not an exact tie-in, it's not modeled after Tom Hardy or anything, but it's just a Mad Max story. If you saw the movie, you get it. But if you guys aren't Metal Gear fans, I'd definitely recommend going out and picking this game up. I think it's definitely worth it, and it's a lot of fun. I'll post up another video for it once I finish it, give you some final thoughts, let you know if my impressions changed at all. But thanks for watching, guys. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. We got a lot of great looking games coming out this fall, and they'll all be right here.